The OBSBOT came in the mail today. It was shipped DHL. They passed it off to the USPS so it could be dropped into my mailbox this afternoon. We'll see what this looks like as we open it up. Very well packaged. Got some decent bubble wrap around the original box that it comes with. Let's flip that right side up. You can see the bubble wrap that's surrounding that. And at the bottom of the box there is a couple other boxes. This says it is a selfie ring light for smartphones, and this one is a Bluetooth remote shutter for smartphones. We'll look at these accessories first and just see what they sent along with. There's a picture of what that could look like attached to your camera. Charging cable with what looks like micro USB. Wish things would go ahead and just ship with USB-C, as that's become the standard. And then a simple ring light. Have one just like it in black in my studio. Rechargeable, 3 levels of brightness. We'll set this out of the way and continue. The Bluetooth remote shutter for smartphones. It is sealed with what looks like tape. I'm going to rip that through. And there is that. Looks like maybe a 2032 battery and just a Bluetooth pairable shutter. Set these boxes out of the way. Let's slide this bubble wrap off of this box and see what we come up with here. So there's the form factor. Of course, it'll hold your phone landscape or portrait. Pretty clean packaging. Backside gives some stats about it. I'll see if I can get this tape to split. I'll have to admit that kind of pains me to tear that box up like that. I apologize. But my pocket knife fell out of my pocket at lunch today, and I'll have to go back and find where it went. So, out of the box, we see its own carrying case and documentation. User manual. Now let's look in the carrying case. That's a nice sturdy handle. It is both nylon strap and rubberized grip. This is a soft touch texture on the carrying case itself. It is OBSBOT labeled, imprinted. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Oop, that grabbed there. Okay, so start with a tripod. It's plastic, but 1/4-20 mount as is standard. The tripod will sit low to the ground. It's nice and wide, so it'll be good and sturdy. The unit itself is going to have a swivel arm and will set in this orientation. Of course, it'll be setting in this orientation, but so you can see it full on. Phone will go here. It can turn landscape or portrait, either one, and has some good, feels like a friction fit. This may be an adjustable adjustment setting here. And it is USB-C charge compatible. All right, let's put the tripod on. We'll set this here for a moment. While we look at what else came in the case, they're going to have a charge cable, USB-C, for tightening or loosening the tension on the phone holder. In case you don't have a coin in your pocket, I suppose. One of the things you see from their Kickstarter info page, it says use any app you like. The built-in camera and AI image processor allows it to pick you up and process what's going on in any app that has a camera. We're going to try it in the iPhone 11 Pro Max built-in camera first. We'll try it in Instagram and maybe Facebook as well, maybe YouTube. But we'll see how it doesn't take any extra app or Bluetooth connection. Open it up and give it the signal to begin recording, which of course is listed in the instructions. You see the blue ring change to the green ring change to blue, and all of a sudden it's tracking me. Now, in their demonstration on the Kickstarter page, it tracks at 120 degrees per second. So it's going to move quickly if I move quickly. It's not jerky. That's really incredibly smooth. I'm going to move back around behind the camera that I'm using right now and let you see that it does in fact track. Now this is not a 360 degree track. That's one thing that's different from the Pivo, the other tracking device that we've used before, and so it's a little bit different there. But it does have, I think, 150 degree, 160 degree tracking, so, or maybe more than that. Let's go back and look at the page again in the specs. The pan is plus or minus 150 degrees, so that's a 300 degree turn. So it's going to be able to take all the way around from here. Okay, so you can see this bundle of cables that it's bumped up against the stop. Okay, and then we'll go around this area of this sound booth and we'll see how far it will track me, even in behind stuff. It's hanging on to me. That is impressive. Now, if I give the old shuffle, it does go back and forth. I think that's one of the things I noticed with the Pivo as well. Now, this is the same beam that those cables are attached to. Probably shouldn't have. Let's see if it'll find me come around this way. Nope, it's looking for me in the other direction there, so I'll come back into view. It sees me, and then here we go again. We'll try the same in landscape mode. So I'll go around this way once again, using the front-facing camera. There's that beam that we talked about a minute ago. One more time. This should be the exact same. It's balanced well. It handles the iPhone, even the Pro Max, which is the bigger size. It is continuing to track. Let's see how much more. It would actually track to that far. So that's almost a complete rotation. That would probably handle just about any use that we would want if we were doing a live event or if we were doing something in a conference or a sporting event. So now we are in Instagram testing the same functionality. The eye is pointed at me. I'll give it the signal to start recording or to start tracking me. Green light flashes to blue, and now it's going to point its sensor, thus the camera, directly at me. That's in Instagram. Same features. And now I am in YouTube in the Create a Short section. It brings the camera up. I flipped it up to the front-facing camera. I'll give the lens the sign, green to blue, and now it's tracking and following me wherever I go, just like it did in Instagram and in the iPhone built-in camera. One of the challenges we'll want to try with the OBSBOT Me is to see if we can double stack the Pivo camera on top of the iPhone mount. Now that does pose a problem. It's a place where I'm going to have to make a modification. I'll need to drill a hole here in the top of the mount and put a 1/4 screw through the bottom so that I can then mount either just the Pivo camera to it, or so that I can mount another spring-loaded holder similar to this one. So for our next video, we'll compare the Pivo and the Pivo in that use case scenario. For now, I'd just like to report that this is a solution to live following, to AI-powered live tracking. It looks to be a smooth transitioning. It can work in any app with a camera, it says, because after its sensor, the eye here, has picked you up, it's going to find you and track you once you've given it the signal, so that whatever direction it's pointed in, the phone camera is also pointed in, and you'll be recording yourself. You'll be recording whatever you've chosen to highlight there, and so it will record onto that app's camera as long as the battery will last, I suppose, which is about 2 hours according to its specs. So the question you now have to ask is the OBSBOT Me for me? At $109 on their Indiegogo campaign, you can try it out for yourself. It comes with the basic package. Looks like it's going to be the tripod, the carrying case, the charging cables, and the unit itself for that $109. It is different from the Pivo, and I know that the Pivo keeps coming out with a little bit more powerful unit as they are progressing through their series of products. They're continually improving the software as well. Now with this one, the unusual part is there's no app for it. It is it's software built in, and as that camera eye on the unit sees you, it's tracking you. That's a little bit unusual. It's very different from the Pivo, that you have to pull up their app in order to and have it on top in order for it to track. So this does free you up maybe a little bit to do something different. And like I say, I'll be trying to get the Pivo camera mounted on it instead of a phone camera, so we can see how it works to track as far as live event streaming or in a church setting where I use one quite often. If you've not yet subscribed to this channel, I would appreciate the consideration. Subscribing lets us know to continue to produce content for you. Always like this video if you can turn on the notification bell. That's one of the things that the YouTube algorithm asks for, and so turning that on is also a help to the channel, gets us a little bit more exposure.